Hello and welcome to today's video. It is lovely to see you again, and if you're new, hello, my name is Matthew and today I'm going to be discussing the Eurovision Song Contest 2020, the year that wasn't. Obviously lots of things have been cancelled this year due to coronavirus and everything that's going on with that, and I was upset that the Eurovision Song Contest got cancelled, but I'm not going to be too, I'm so sad, because obviously lots of people have had to cancel things that are way more personal, such as weddings and parties, and I think that, you know, obviously in the grand scheme of things the Eurovision Song Contest is upsetting, but quite a small thing in regards to everyone's day-to-day life. Now, I haven't always been a fan of the Eurovision Song Contest. I used to kind of have an opinion that I think a lot of Brits have, that it's just a cheesy pop song contest with music that's a bit dated and not very good, but my opinion of that changed in 2012. When I saw Loreen perform Euphoria, I just was like, what is this? This is amazing. Her performance was amazing. The song is fantastic, still is. And I really engaged with it, and every year since then I've become more and more slightly obsessed with the show. I was really excited for this year because I think that this was just the best selection of songs that have been entered into the contest in the same year for quite some time. There's a few that I'm personally not that bothered about, but for the most part, I was just like, this is banger after banger after banger. Obviously the Eurovision Song Contest didn't go ahead this year. It was supposed to take place in Rotterdam, and it will next year, hurrah! But we did get Eurovision Europe Shine, which was sort of a little replacement show that had some past performers coming back. And we also got to see a 30-second clip and a little video of each of the acts who were intending to represent their countries. I thought I'd just do a little bit of a review of that and a little bit of some thoughts on some of the songs that were going to take place this year, because honestly I was really looking forward to doing a Eurovision review on my channel this year when I started. I thought that'd be something fun to do, and I'd have loads of content around the semi-finals, but honestly it's been a bit limited, and I could have done something on the home concert series, but it just didn't feel the same. So if there's a Eurovision community out there who would like me to be a part of their community, I would really love some opportunity to do that. But otherwise, maybe stick around and we'll see what happens in 2021 and see what sort of content we can bring then. So I just thought I'd start by discussing some of the bits of the show last night, Eurovision Europe Shine, that I really enjoyed. I am really excited to see what the hosts do next year. They seemed really personable, they seemed really charismatic, they seemed to click quite well. Obviously being socially distanced, but they seem to have a good repertoire with one another. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the show next year. It was really nice to see Mons perform his winning song Heroes, more acoustically, dedicated to all of the essential key workers who are working around the planet to, you know, keep everyone safe and to keep things ticking over. I really feel that that was a nice touch. Also, Mons is not too bad on the eyes, so it's always nice when he pops up. I also really enjoyed seeing Netta again. They sort of previewed that Netta was going to be appearing in the show, and I didn't quite know in what capacity, but she sang a song called Cuckoo, which if everybody didn't get to see, I really recommend checking out. It was a song very different from what I've seen from Netta before. It wasn't necessarily a ballad, but it was more of a relaxed sort of tone, less frantic I suppose, and it was about mental health, and it was really sweet. It was just her singing on a bed with an instrument, which, you know, those little music boxes you get where you sort of turn it and it plays like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something like that. She was using some sort of instrument sort of like that, where I think it had been like sort of punctured into paper or something like that, and she was turning it and it was playing the tune. It was really beautiful. Highly recommend checking that out. There was a lovely moment where the singer from Milk and Honey performed her winning song Hallelujah, and she performed it with last year's contestants from the Junior Eurovision Song Contest, and that was lovely. But I think the moment that really got me was the moment at the end where all of the acts from this year performed Love Shine a Light, which was of course Katrina and the Waves' winning song back in 1998. 1997? Not too sure on that one. I should know. 1998 I think it was. No, 1997. Hosted in 1998. We got there. It was lovely to sort of see all of them come together. I know I'm from the UK, and usually, apart from like when Suri performed, and I was like, Suri needs to win, because I loved her, and I think her rating in the overall final was very upsetting, and she deserved to do a lot better. Shame on you. But I actually wasn't that bothered by this year's song, and as the weeks have gone on, the UK's entry, My Last Breath, has really grown on me. And the one thing I've thought about is that James Newman, his vocal isn't sort of the vocal that I would usually gravitate towards. However, his vocals in this performance of Love Shine Light towards the end were amazing. I was like, who was this guy singing before he popped up on screen? And I was like, damn, he's good. So yeah, high hopes for him. Hopefully he gets to return next year. We'll see what he pulls out of the bag. But then obviously Katrina turns up at the end, and it's the only time in the entire show where I got tingles. So I just thought I had to speak about that. So well done for Eurovision for putting something on. It was really nice to sort of sit down and still have a Eurovision-esque even if it was just me and a bag of Skittles and the dog who was fast asleep and didn't really care about any of my singing. So I just wanted to sort of do a quick little, that's what I liked about the show. It did feel a little bit flat in places. I think playing 30 seconds of each song was a good call because it would have been a very long evening otherwise, but also it did sort of just feel a bit like a, do you know old TV chart shows where they used to do sort of a quick recap of the top 10 before they announced who was number 1 that week? It felt a little bit like that. But as I said, it was really nice that there was something that would bring everyone together. I know that lots of people were watching and, you know, talking to one another on, you know, Twitter and other social media platforms. So thank you to the EBU and the Eurovision Song Contest for that. So what I wanted to do now was just sort of talk about a few of the songs that were in this year's contest that I really enjoyed. And I'll start by doing sort of my top 3, if you will, that have really stood out to me and that I thought would have done well in the contest. And then I'm just going to look through the list and sort of read off a few because I cannot remember them all. But my 8 points would have gone to Russia with their song Uno. This was just really quirky and really unique, and I really enjoyed it. And every time it comes on, I just sort of find myself having a little bit of a boogie. And I really hope that everyone goes and checks it out. It's got a really funky video. I think that all of the songs that I've enjoyed this year have had really cool music videos, and they've had sort of dance moves integrated into that video that really stand out. So that was really a big one for me. My 10 points would have gone to Lithuania with On Fire. This one is sort of one of those ones that just sort of crept up on me. It was not really on my radar, but then the more and more I've listened to the playlist on Spotify, it stuck in my head. And then I sort of went away and watched a bunch of the music videos one evening just to pass the time. And you know, they're doing the whole I can't do it in this shirt. I have put on weight over lockdown and everything's a bit tighter than it was before, but that's fine. We'll get back on it when lockdown ends. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, On Fire was really catchy. I think Lithuania had a really good chance of winning it this year, and that's kind of upsetting because I know that the 2 countries that I've got in my first and second slot really are countries that could have had a really big moment this year who haven't really had that opportunity before. So that's really upsetting. But Lithuania, On Fire, that was my number 2. Highly recommend it. Go check it out if you've not already. It's really catchy and you'll have it in your head for days. My 12 points would have gone to Iceland. I don't think I'm alone here. I think this has been a really popular song, especially on social media. Think About Things is just an absolute banger. I'm obsessed with it. I sing it all the time. Not very well. I think it's really cute as well. I saw somebody on Twitter saying that it was a creepy song about a guy sort of seeing a girl in a bar and then like being like, oh, I'm obsessed with you and I've imagined the rest of our lives. But it's not about that at all. It's about the songwriter, and I'm sorry, I really can't pronounce his name. I'd rather not try because I feel like that would be disrespectful. More disrespectful than just not saying his name. I'm a terrible person. But it's about his daughter. It's about, you know, meeting his daughter for the very first time. And I think that that's really cute. And then because I can't really remember all of the songs, well, I can, but I mean, I can't really remember them off the top of my head. I'm just going to go through this list of performers and I'm going to tell you the other songs that I was really interested in. So I really liked Tension from Norway. I thought that was a really nice ballad. I thought it was one of the ballads this year that really stood out. Georgia, Take Me As I Am, that's really growing on me. It's a bit more rocky and it's not usually the sort of sound I'd go for, but the more I listen to it, the more there's something in the instrumental of the track that I really enjoy. Azerbaijan with Cleopatra, that's really catchy. that's a pop banger. I think that would have done really, really well. Move by the Mamas. Sweden always do really well in the contest. I don't think this would have been a contender, but I think it would have done well. I think it definitely would have made the final. I really like the gospel feel to it, so I really would have been excited to see their performance. But again, I don't think there was a contender this year, which probably isn't a bad thing for Sweden. They've hosted two times recently, so they're probably wanting to take a little bit of a break. However, that being said, I would like Sweden to host every year if it meant that we got Petra Mede. I'm an advocate for Petra Mede to host every single Eurovision Song Contest, regardless of the location. So I'm just putting that out there. If we can make that happen, if there is demand for that, I think it should be a thing. Let's get on board. Let's make this happen. Let's reach out to the powers that be and make Petra Mede just be Eurovision host. The next one that I've got on the list that I really liked was North Macedonia with You. I've seen some people say that they're not that interested in this, but I really like the sound of it. A lot of people I've seen who sort of reviewed the Eurovision songs on YouTube have kind of said that they don't think it would have made it through the semi-final. Maybe it wouldn't have, but I don't know. I know it doesn't have the same power as Proud did last year, but I really, really enjoy it. There's something musicality to it, the video, and Vasil, I think is how you pronounce his name, him on the home concert series and what I've seen of him throughout sort of this year's build-up to Eurovision, that wasn't. He seems like a really nice guy. He seems like he's really charismatic. He's really interested in, you know, the contest and engaging. So I don't know, I think he may have won people over. I really like Switzerland's entry. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Is it Respondes-moi? I should really learn some other languages. I've not mastered English yet. But that is a beautiful song. That's another ballad that I really, really like. I think he's been confirmed to come back next year, so really, really interested to see what he does. Again, some of the stuff that I've seen in the build-up to the contest, he seems like a really sweet guy, really, really passionate about music and what he does, so I'm really, really interested to see what he brings next year. Serbia, Hasta la Vista, it's catchy, but it's a bit, I don't know, one note. It doesn't really go anywhere or do anything, but it's catchy enough. So I definitely do sing that sometimes. I liked Ireland's Story of My Life if it was 2012. It feels like it has a very 2012 sort of, you know, what Katy Perry and One Direction were doing around then. I feel like it's not of now, but it's really, really catchy, and I think it would have done well, but I don't know if it's just maybe, I say 2012 as if it's dated, but like I feel like it's very of that time and not so much now. Austria with Alive, that is another one that's really current. It's really, you know, if you heard that in a club, or maybe not a club, but maybe like a bar, you wouldn't think, oh, this is a Eurovision song based on what Brits' opinion of a Eurovision song might sound like. It's really catchy. It's got levels to it as well. So what I said about Hasta la Vista being one note, this song isn't. It starts off slow and almost a cappella. Maybe it is a cappella, I don't know, I feel like there's some music there. And then it kind of becomes, it sort of picks up and becomes a dance number. So I'm really down for that, that's really cool. San Marino with Freaky, I love that one. It's really, really catchy. And again, in the Holmes concert series or something like that, the singer, Senhit, I'm probably pronouncing these terribly, forgive me if you ever do watch it. She talks about her dog and it's so cute. She had an album and a tour that she did named after her dog. How sweet is that? So I clicks for that. Greece, Stephanie with Supergirl, that's really catchy. That's sort of in the vein of Cleopatra, I think, where it sort of could have been a catchy pop tune outside of the contest. I think sometimes songs, especially with the UK, would have had mass appeal if they didn't appear in the contest and people just sort of write them off. I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine was listening to Undo and didn't realise that it was an entry into the Eurovision Song Contest. He was like, I love this song, have you heard it? I was like, of course I've heard it. It's Sweden's entry into the Eurovision Song Contest. And couldn't believe it. And I think that when people don't know that the songs are from the contest, they do really well. But if something has that label on it here in the UK, it just gets looked over. It really annoys me actually, because there's some absolute hits that have come from the Eurovision Song Contest. They've done really well in the rest of Europe, but just don't stand a chance here. The last song that got high in the charts was, or that got the highest, there's been other charting songs, but Euphoria got to number 3 in the UK charts, and that was kind of really unheard of. Calm After the Storm did quite well as well. The next one that I really liked was Cyprus with Running. Again, very, very current pop song. I think that would have done really, really well. I'd be keen to see the staging. There was a song called Running a few years back, and I remember this was more so when I was getting into Eurovision. I think it was Denmark, when Denmark hosted. No, they didn't perform the song, but the guy was sort of sat in a chair and then he got up and ran, and I was like, is this song called Running? And then he sang Running, and I was like, ah. Yeah, so hopefully they wouldn't have done that, or they would have done something a little less obvious. But no, that I really like this song. It's really, really catchy. Again, sort of a bit more of a club banger, so it's a bit more current, which I think would do well. Although I don't think the most current of songs in Eurovision tend to be the ones that win. So I think it would have done well, but I don't think it would have got top points. Germany's entry with Violent Thing is growing on me. Again, it's in the same vein of Running, very, very current. First time I heard it, I thought it was a woman. And it's not, it's a young guy. He seems really, really sweet. But again, I think because of its currentness, it wouldn't have necessarily, of course it would have been in the final because it's one of the big five, but I just think that because it's so current, that would have maybe held it back a little bit, because I feel like there's a tendency for that to happen. Maybe on the left-hand side of the board, but I don't know if it would have necessarily, you know, risen to the top. Germany are the last of the big five to win though, so who knows? Maybe that's something that's on the horizon. Malta, Destiny, All of My Love. Again, I don't have too much to say about that. That's another really good song, a bit more gospel-y, sort of like the Mamas. This song's really grown on me over the past couple of weeks, so this hasn't been sort of something that initially stood out to me, but as I've listened to the songs more and more, that's one that I've sort of started to have a little bit of a move to. That's when I know I like a song, if I sort of stop and have a little bit of a bounce. Like, this is at my office, in my bedroom, sat on a desk chair, just enjoying a tune. This is what I do. That's the extent of my dance ability. So, you know, enjoy that. So there's two more that I wanted to mention. They are Australia with Don't Break Me. It really reminds me of a couple of other songs though, which I think probably would have either really, really helped it or really hindered its ability to do well in the competition. So I'm not sure how that would have gone, but from what I've seen, the performances of that song live have been really, really cool. So I would have been interested to see how that came alive on the Eurovision stage. Australia have got a really good track record. I know they've only been in the competition for like, what, 5 years now. But they have done really, really well every time that they've entered. They've got close so many times. Was this the song to get them there? Don't necessarily know, but I do think that this song would have done well. I think that Eurovision fans have a place in their heart, a little soft spot for Australia. And then finally is Denmark with Yes, which I don't think has got a lot of hype around it. I think that people have not really made a lot of comments about this particular song, and it's a nice little duet. It reminds me a little bit of Walk Me Home by Pink in the chorus, in terms of the musicality, but I think that's a lovely song. It's not one of the most exciting entries, but when it comes on I listen to it and it makes me happy, so yeah. And to be honest, all of the other songs that I've not mentioned, they're not bad songs, it's just that I don't necessarily resonate with them in the same way. There's a couple in there, there's like there's a song in there, and I can't even remember what country it's from, and I've literally just looked at it, called Prison, and every time I see that song pop up, I'm like, I have no idea what this song is, and that's just the one that doesn't stick with me. I wasn't particularly bothered about Portugal's entry this year, so that's just my thoughts and opinions on this particular set of songs. I think that this would have been a really stellar year, and I'm really, really upset, but I'm excited to see a lot of the artists come back next year. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to bring. You know, will it be something similar to what they've done before? Will it be something entirely new? Who knows? So yeah, I think it'll be interesting 2021. I think there's going to be a lot of hype around it. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you more content. I'm thinking about doing a like top 10 Eurovision hits, my favourites, sometime soon, because I just like talking about the Eurovision Song Contest, to be honest with you. So I'm going to, you know, bring that video to you soon. I'm also working on a Eurovision Song Contest quiz, which I might bring to the channel. If you're interested in that, let me know. And that's all I've got to say. It's a shame that the Eurovision Song Contest didn't take place this year, but hopefully next year it'll come back bigger and better than ever. And we will all be able to come together and celebrate the longest running TV show in history, or competitive TV show in history. I'm not sure, it's one of those things. But yeah, sad it's not going ahead this year, but it's not gone forever. As always, please stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It will really help the channel. And share with your friends. If you know anybody who may enjoy this sort of content, it would be great to see them check the channel out, and leave your comments letting me know what you thought of this year's acts in the comments section below. Bye bye now.